My contribution to the internet history is that I built wireless network in remote parts of Nepal, especially in the Himalayan region, and connected the villages through the wireless network and brought internet in an area where people had never seen the computers and where people didn't know anything about what an internet was. So at the beginning, the goal was to use the internet for email and for communication, but we found that the internet can be used for some other purposes as well. So what we found over time was was that the internet could be used for e-education, for e-training, and as well as for e-health purpose. So we are using the internet not only for browsing the websites or writing emails or using it for communication, but we are using the internet especially focusing on how to educate people, how to get students in the rural areas get better education, how to provide training materials for the teachers and for the health workers, also to provide health services through e-medicine program in an area where there are no hospitals and doctors. So also we are introducing money transfer services, also trying to introduce e-banking services in an area where no commercial banks want to go. So using the internet, what we have found is we can provide many services useful even for the people living in the remote areas, even for the people who are not literate, who are not educated. So that's what my contribution is, and my my involvement is mostly to connect to the people in an area where no commercial service provider or commercial operators want to go, because those areas where I am working is very remote and it takes several days of walking to get from one village to another village to get to this area. So commercially it is not viable for the commercial providers to bring internet and services. That's where I want to go, and that's where I am helping to introduce the technology for the benefit of the people. And my goal is to increase the digital literacy among the people living in the remote Himalayan region. The happiest moment for us was when the first link we could make the first link. That was 34 kilometer, and we had set up a small server in the city with a dial-up connection, because that was 2002 and we just had dial-up connection internet in Nepal. We didn't have any broadband that time. So that was our happiest day. Then after that, it was very fun to work. Even if it was challenging, we had to carry everything, the batteries, the solar, and the panels, and the equipments, and our food, and sleeping bags, everything. We had to walk several days, and from one station to another station, it was hard, but it was fun as well. So it was quite excited, and we didn't feel any kind of difficulties. We didn't feel any kind of hardship, even if it was geographically it was very difficult to go from one region to another region. There will be positive impact for sure, and it has been already, because it is not going to bring change overnight in the lives of the people there, but over time, when these young people who are learning how to use computer and the internet, they grow, it will certainly have an impact. They are getting at least educational materials through the internet, where there are not enough teachers in the schools. The people are at least having some health services from the doctors who are living in the cities. I mean, these are the people who never have been to the hospitals. They have not been able to get opportunity to see a doctor physically. So at least they are getting some help. It is better to have hospitals and doctors in the village, but it is not possible. It's not going to happen that. And it's these children in the rural areas, who are going to this community schools, government schools, they are at least getting opportunity to use internet. And we have many young people from the rural areas who go to work abroad to make money for their families. We teach them how to use at least computers and the internet before they go to work abroad. That way it has been easier for them to communicate with their families. Not all of the people who go to work abroad are doing that, but at least those people who have at least some middle school education or some education, they are using it a lot.